Hello, you guys. If you guys just want to let me know if you can hear me all right. So this video is specifically for those that are still without or kind of stuck in the process of either applying for the loan or haven't applied or haven't got their grants or haven't emailed about reconsideration but this has to all to do with the COVID-19 economical injury disaster loan and the targeted advance grants, the supplemental targeted advance grants. And I don't know much about the venue, the shattered venue, but I do know that it's through the same portal area, so to apply. So I can, if somebody has a question, I'll find it for you. But if you have any questions, just kind of let me know. I'll go through some basic information, and then if anything pops up, you can kind of just jump in. The biggest reason for this video today is the fact that the deadline for applying for the EIDL loan and grants is tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the year. So you have until end of day tomorrow to apply. Now, if you are in reconsideration, have already applied, and still stuck in the process, then they will work through those. You just have to have applied by the end of tomorrow. But I am definitely willing to help you with any information that I know in regards to the process. Now, I noticed something today when I was helping someone that they had went in and to accept their loan, and they thought they got everything accepted. They processed it. They uploaded everything. And I said, you have to check the portal again, because it isn't uncommon that they make another button pop up. And so she went in and checked today, and by golly, there's a blue button that says that you have to click again for processing. It's almost like a reconfirmation. So she did that. Of course, now she's in the queue. So, I mean, I cannot stress enough that you have to check those portals daily, if not more than once. And this SBA has been super great about getting back to people right away if you provide them with the right information. So number one thing is, have you applied? If you have not applied, here, let me get to my screen. If you have not applied, you will go to the SBA.gov page. Let me see if I can find. This is the SBA. You can see on the top, it's just www.sba.gov. And so you will go to that page, and you will look at your COVID-19 relief options. Here you can click Get Help. Do you need help with PPP? Are you still looking to get to the portal for forgiveness on that? Like today we're talking about the EIDL. Here's the shattered venues grant information, which, like I said, I don't know much about. However, I'm pretty sure that you would know if you fit into that category. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund, and then the SBA debt relief, which we will make loan payments for some existing SBA borrowers. I do believe that are people that had SBA loans prior to the pandemic, but don't quote me on that. So for today, we are specifically talking about the EIDL. So you would click here, and the advanced programs are the grants, and then this is about the loan. So let's look at the loan. You cannot get the grants without applying for the loan. So you can't just magically get a grant. You have to apply for the loan. You do not have to accept the loan to apply for the grants. There's different instances where some people have already applied for this in early of 2020. You should have gotten an invitation then to create an account and apply for the grants. If you did it, you have to email them and ask them for portal access, provide them with whatever information that you have, whether it was what email, what was your name, what's your business name, if you have the application number from original when you applied. If you don't, that's a whole nother ballgame. You have to get the application number and access to the account, or wait until they ask you to reapply because they haven't found you. You can check the portal If you go to the portal site, which is right here, which is COVID-19 Relief 1.sba.gov, you can plug in your email that you would have used, or multiple if you're not really sure, and then hit forgot password, and then I'm not a robot, and see if within the next 2 hours you get an option to reset a password. And then you would have access to your portal, which would have your name, your business information, as well as your application number. So let's go back to the COVID EIDL information. So it shows here that the EIDL applications will be accepted until December 31st, 2021. We will continue processing these applications after deadline, including reconsiderations. We are unable to accept any new applications after the deadline, which is why I'm doing the video today. So if you know anyone who has a business that was affected by all of the stuff that happened in the last year or this year, you should definitely try to help them apply for this. Once they get the application in, they do not have to accept a loan. They do not have to accept anything, but they have to get the application in before the end of tomorrow. But it's hard to talk to people that have language barriers. It's hard to talk to people that don't understand how this works. And so in that point, you could try to get them to talk to their banker or their accountant or their lawyer, or whoever that normally represents them, or whoever they would normally trust. Because like, I am not also accountant. I am a small business owner who has been through this process, as well as helped many other people do this process. So from trial and error, we have figured out kind of what works, what doesn't work, what they approve, what they don't approve. So you're going to go to SBA.gov, you're going to click on the COVID-19 EIDL, you're going to slide down and you're going to hit start application. And when you do that, you will end up at a screen like this. Okay. So this is your application. Most of us have already done this, but in the event that you have not applied, this is what you have to do today. So you would have to have some basic information about your business. If you're not the sole owner of your business, you may need to get the other owner involved to make sure you do this correctly. If you have a company that is represented by a group of people or directors, you're going to have to get them involved. I'm talking to those small business owners that are kind of sole proprietors or don't really have that many people to help you. And you don't have the money to hire people either. So an applicant is a business that together with affiliates has not more than 500. Sure, that applies to me. I could click that, but you could only choose one. An applicant is an agricultural enterprise that together with affiliates has not more than 500. That doesn't apply to me. I'm a massage therapist and a massage place. I also own a salon and I own some real estate. So an applicant is an individual who operates under a sole proprietorship with or without employees, or is an independent contractor and together affiliates has not more than 500 employees. Well, that would apply to me, but let's see if there's anything else that applies to me more. It says that applicant is a cooperative that together with affiliates. So cooperative is going to put you probably in a cooperation type aspect. So, I mean, that wouldn't apply to me. Applicant is a business, including agriculture, cooperative, aquaculture. So I'm not into the farm stuff, so you would know if you fit into that. The next one has to do with your 501, non-government, non-profit, not part of that. Last one is applicant is a business that together with affiliates has more than 500 employees, and then you have to meet those the NAICS codes. If you're not sure what your NAICS code, you can Google the code and then you can find it, or just open your tax documents up, and at the top of your Schedule C or your schedule or your tax business page, it will state what your code is, and it'll say NAICS code, and then it would be I don't know, is it 5 or 6 digits? So, and they're just asking for the beginning digits. So it's going to ask you some basic questions. These kind of get confusing, but for the most part, they just want to make sure you're not doing anything illegal. It does not mean that you would not get approved. So answer them truthfully, and you always want to make sure that you're not fraudulently answering these. So if you're not sure on the question, you're going to have to seek someone professional to go through it. So if you have any questions about these specific questions, go ahead and ask me. Otherwise, I don't want to read them all. So, and then I can't really go forward from here, but then they'll ask basically about your business information and the way you have it structured. It's really, here it says business information, business owner's information, and additional information that they want you to upload, like your taxes, probably 19 and 20, maybe verification of your ID, or your driver's license or your passport. They might not ask for that here. They might ask for it later. I did not fill this application out for a very long time, so I can't really remember. But then it'll tell you an application number at the end, which is super important. So take a picture with your phone, write it down, make sure you have that information, or do a print screen. But definitely important to have, because as soon as you hit submit, you're going to get an email asking you to start an account, and then you have access to that important portal where you can actually process loan, upload more documents, and apply for the advanced grants, targeted advanced and supplemental grants. So, that being said, again, kind of repeating today. Yeah, you guys didn't see that. Here. Kind of repeating today that the SBA has a deadline approaching, and tomorrow is the last day of the end of the day, and so I'll just kind of hang out and see if you guys need any help today. So you just gotta let me know. We could talk about the loan terms or whatever you guys want. So I'm just gonna pull up the chat here. There it is. I think you guys can see my chat box. Let me see if you guys can see my chat box. You should also keep in mind that the SBA pings whatever computer or device that you use to apply for this. Because I was out of town one day and I thought that I could check my application status, and it immediately recognized that I was not in my area and would not let me. And I've seen other people do it too, just from using their home computer to their work computer. And so, you know, it is possible that you might have to use the same computer, so keep that in mind. Once you get into your portal, there will be a status box that tells you where your loan is, if it's in processing or in reconsideration, or if there's something you have to do. There also should be, if you have already applied for the grants, a status for your advanced types of your grants. So if they've been accepted, or if you've applied, or if they're in processing, or if they've been approved, or if they've been funded. And then there's steps to complete at the bottom, and those change pretty regularly, so I do recommend always checking the status of those daily in that portal. But if you have not applied for the loan to get the grants, or just to get the loan, or, and like I said, you don't have to accept it, but you have to apply. If you want this economical assistance, you have to have the application in by the end of tomorrow. So, which is why I have reached out to you guys today, just to remind you that today is the deadline, and if you know anybody that has a business that has not applied, you know, you should probably shout out and be like, hey, did you apply for the economical assistance through the SBA? Did you? And some people may not tell you, but hey, you might want to check on that because the deadline is tomorrow. And some people didn't need the loan at the time that they applied, so they didn't accept it. and some people, um, have decided to take it now that, their status of their business has started to decline again since we are experiencing high numbers again. So, something to consider, but you won't have that option if you don't apply for it. I'm waiting for an SBA code to show up in my email here. I'm just on my phone so that I can check my portal real quick. So if you have any questions, just, let me know and I will try to help you. But again, just repeating myself that the deadline for applying for the grants and the loan is tomorrow. Here's the deadlines here. So let me know if you have any questions, you guys. Just reminding you that the application process for the EIDL loan and grants has to have been started by the end of tomorrow. And if you have any questions with that process, just let me know. I'll let you know if I can help. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Just reminding you that if your business has not applied for the economical injury disaster loan or the grants that are available, the deadline is by end of day tomorrow. It took me 4 minutes to get that code from the SBA for my portal. So they always send an email verification when I check it on my phone. So finally it just came in. So, and it just says that mine is in processing. So, but I just want to check and make sure that there wasn't anything new. So you should check your portal daily if you're waiting for something. Unfortunately, the SBA never changed the map. So if you didn't fall into the low income bracket map, then those people did not get approved for the targeted EIDL advance or the supplemental targeted advance grant. However, they did, if they met the conditions, qualify and get approved for loan, just not the grants. Which I personally don't think is fair, because people just slightly outside of those maps were, pushed out. I thought it was very discriminating, actually, for them to create that map. So let me know if you have any questions for me, or at least reach out and say hi. I'm just kind of sit here and see if you have any questions. Pretty much all small businesses had a chance to apply for this. If you got a Schedule C, or if you even had a side business that you reported taxes for, you could have qualified for this. The SBA has a very, very good website here. It's worked pretty flawlessly. Excuse me. I do not, Abundant, work with the SBA. I am just another small business owner that is well aware of how the process works. If you have any questions about the process, I can try to help direct you on what you need to do. But this live video today was mostly to remind people that the deadline to apply for the EIDL loan and grants is today. If you've already applied for those, then that doesn't mean that you won't get them. The SBA has stated, here, let me show you here, that after the deadline they will continue to work on reconsiderations and applications. So but just if you have any questions. Okay, that's good. Have you checked your portal lately? I helped a couple people yesterday with their reconsideration for an increase, and there was a change in their portal showing that they needed to click another button or upload another document. So make sure you're checking that daily. Look for the blue buttons that pop up, because they don't always email you. They just kind of change your portal. How long have you been waiting for your reconsideration, for your increase on your loan? Did you abundant? Okay. Okay. Um, there is a formula that they use. However, let me see. SBA will begin approving loans greater than 500K. Yeah, I would definitely make them reconsider. So you had the Congress contact them. That have you checked your portal lately to see if they've made any changes? Also, have you contacted them through the reconsideration email? They have two reconsideration emails, but let me see if I can find it here. Okay. There it is. Right there. Oops. It's not what I wanted to do. What did I do? Well, here, let me do this again. There we go. Okay. So here it is. PD. Anyways, that's one. Let's see. They recalculated to make sure it's likely not to approve more than. You know, I don't know. They might approve more than that because their calculations changed when they made a change. Here it is. Here, max loan cap increased from 500,000 to 2 million. So when they changed the calculations, I think this was in September. Yep, September 8th. So they changed the way that they calculated those amounts in September. And so sometimes it just depends on which person. Yesterday is the first time that I have ever seen the SBA respond like every 2 hours to people's emails. So I would definitely email again. I can look for it. I know it's on here. Let me see if I can find it for you. So I think, if I remember right, that it depends also like on what you made for 2020. Like if, let me look here. The new, here, let's see. So, I mean, they show here that you have to submit additional documents. let's see. I know a few people that have gotten this. Yeah, you probably already did these 4506 and the P002. Yeah, I would keep on them, but I think you should re-email them again. I'm pretty sure that if you got approved for the 500, that you for sure should be able to get up to like double. They say double. I don't know if they put the formula on here or if they took it off. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I do see, because it's usually at least double. So I would say a million. Hi, Water Dragon. Let me know if you have any SBA questions. Let's see. I think that's kind of been the standard abundant, is like it's kind of double. So, and I seen that yesterday where someone was approved for it's 55,000 and they didn't take the loan at first, and then they came back and they had added the increase in, and they gave them 135. So it was even more than double. So I would expect it to be at least a million, but there should be no reason why they haven't already done this for you. So did you see where I don't know if, did you use this email right here, the PDC, and then it's RECONS at SBA.gov. And you need to do a templated kind of email. So, and sometimes I've seen when you email this one, they'll tell you to email another one, which is basically, instead of reconsiderations, shortened version in this email, they have it as a longer version. But in your email subject title, you should put your application number and then reconsideration for increase. That's it. And then below, in the body of your email, you should put your application number, your business information, just your basic information. No don't put like documents or socials or EINs or anything. Just your business name, your name, and then a brief reason why you're contacting them, that you need to, you're asking for reconsideration for the increase, and you need this now for your business. You need help. You need someone to help you with this now. And I guarantee that someone's going to get on it right away, because even tonight, people are working at the SBA late at night. So if you do it now, you use both emails. Yeah, I like Skip. I really like Skip. Yes, and that is basically Skip's template, and it does work. But you could also send it to the generic email. We have done that too, where we might get a person that kind of fast paces it or sends you to somebody privately. The generic email here, it's on the portal, I think. Oh, see if I can find it. No, it's not here. Just the disaster. Here, let me see if I can find it. It's on here, sure. Let's see. It's like the disaster. It's the one that's inside your portal. Here it is. Disaster customer service at SBA.gov. Also, I mean, I wouldn't use this one because it's not related to the grants. But this one, usually when I email, I send it to this one and then the reconsideration one at the same time. And I never call them. I never call them, because you're only going to get pushed aside usually. But there are individual people handling these emails. So if you just get the right one, they'll take it all upon themselves and then update your portal. I bet you if you do it tonight, hopefully you get somebody right away, and maybe by in the next couple hours, your portal would be updated. Yeah. I'm guessing that if you have a business that got approved for that much, you guys really need it, because you guys are, your cash flow is a lot larger than my small business. I probably didn't help you that much with that, but I do think that you should email again, and do check your portal, because even after having your Congress call them, it is possible that it got updated and they just didn't let you know. So it would be right next to your loan amount. there would be a blue button, not a green. It would be blue if there's something that needs to be put in for processing. They have to give you at least your 900. I would say double. I think it'd be $1 million. Yeah, I could see where staffing. Yeah. I started checking my portal twice a day because at least, well, and actually, I talked with someone this morning. I was helping them with theirs, and their portals actually changed 3 times in one day. But you have to get in the queue somehow. And that's just, I think if you just keep email, I would email every day. I don't care if they tell you not to do that. I've always done it. Just keep sending the same email. So just resend it. But someone's got to help you. You got to, I have put kind of a pity story in there before and said, hey, I need this money. My business is going to, needs to pay the bills. And, nothing, the cost of everything has went up. All your supplies, all your inventory, all the crap you order and pay for that doesn't come. And then, staffing. I mean, I don't have employees. I have a small business. I have a couple small businesses. But, I mean, I know that even in our area, they increased the hourly wage now. And so I can see, I've heard of people's problems. It's terrible. And hopefully, if you can get a response today. I would send another email today. Check the portal again and send another email. And send it to all 3 of them if you want. Somebody's got to respond. And don't take 500 as your max. Let me see if I can find that formula. I thought Skip had posted the formula somewhere. Let me see if we can just Google it. Maybe it'll come up. Let me see. Yeah, see, Hello Skip they have a link. See? Do you see that? Here it is. How to calculate your potential increase. Okay. Let's read this. I worry about having to repay these forever. 30 years made the payment small, but let's see, SBA has a series of, okay, where's our calculator? Here she is. So Skip has a calculation. So it must be, it looks like it's on his app because it says here, download Skip's app. So I wonder if you have to be a Skip Plus member. Let's see what we can find out here. So 2019 revenue, it looks like this person had $1 million and the cost of goods was 0. And then the EIDL funded and received the day. So you would have been half a million. So based on the economical formula, it says that you may be eligible up to $2 million, which means you may be eligible for $1.5 million more. So I'm guessing that we're underestimating you. I mean, for sure you should get another $500,000, but if this is correct, I don't know what your revenue is here, but you should be able to calculate that. So he has a calculator, it looks like. Let's see if we can figure out where it's at on here. They have this section here highlighted as Buzz Lightyear. That might just be the name of, like, I don't know. I'm not a Plus member. I didn't pay for it. But I do like Skip. It's got to be in there. And then you should be able to get an idea of what you should be getting. I mean, clearly you should be getting more. It says there in little print that the EIDL formula and loan limit is based on 24 months of your working capital and details provided by the SBA. So specifically, the formula is your 2019 revenue minus your 2019 cost of goods times 2, and then up to a maximum loan. So that's easy. You can do that, Abundant. You don't even have to go to the calculator. All you got to do is pull your 2019 taxes right in front of you. You're going to take your 2019 revenue, which you probably know by heart by now, subtract any of your 2019 cost of goods, which should be on there. There's a line for that. And then times that number that you get times 2. And that's your formula. It says right here in the small print. Can you see it there? Here, let me see if I can blow it up. Right there. In the small print. That's Skip's formula. So, I'm guessing that would mean, see? Exactly. It says that you should be getting another 1.5 million. So, yes, clearly, you need to get somebody on that end to push this crap through so that you can pay your staff and make plans for 2022. I don't have that kind of money. So, but at least I found the formula for you. You can subscribe though. That'll help me a little. I'm just a massage therapist and I own a salon. Yeah, so this is cool though. At least you found a formula. And that means that, I mean, you can always have the Congress people call back, but you need to send those emails. I want you to send them again tonight. And, and you can put that in there if you want. You can be like, based off of my calculations with the EIDL estimated formula, you can estimate it, so we don't sound like we know more. It'd be like this, my 19 revenue minus cost of goods times 2. I mean, I should qualify for 2 million. So it means you're short 1.5 million right now. I'm sure that could help you. I'm sure that could help your staffing issue. I don't know what the payment on that would be, but it'll tell you. I mean, I guess it would be 3 times the payment of what you have already been quoted. They can't really, I suppose they would just want to lean on it'd make you pay for that $100 application fee again, I suppose. Yeah, I like Skip a lot though. I'm glad that you're a Plus member. It'd be really nice to have that, if you could get that figured out by the end of this year so you don't have to deal with this in your bookkeeping for the next year. It'd be so much easier to start the year knowing, what you have for funds, for capital. Have you tried to reach out to her again? Or I don't think you have to keep the same rep, because I've helped a few people in the past, and we've had multiple reps. So, I mean, I think if you email again, it's just going to get put in the queue and the next person's going to help you. But, we don't even know if you don't even know if they keep the same staff. There was a guy we were working with, and all of a sudden we didn't hear from him, and I guess he didn't work there anymore. So, I mean, I would definitely try to get back in the queue. In the end, you've got to get as much as you can. Well, Skip is trying to ask me to become a... Here, I'm going to switch screens so I'm not on Skip's screen. So, let's see what it says here. Yeah, but I hope you get the money here. She hooked me up with the letter. I think I need someone in the SBA to listen to my case. I think all you have to do is send another email for reconsideration. That's all you need, because they'll just assign anybody that's over the 500,000. They just assign like a person to handle it, and they'll get it through right away, because they also know that you're a bigger, like, your money business is more important to keep you open, and that they already got $500,000 invested in you. They're going to want to make sure that, you know, your working capital is there. What's it say here? Maximum loan. So yeah, $2 million. And then I think you can defer that for 2 years to make plans. I mean, granted, you and I both know how the interest works, so making interest payments would help too. It would be really nice if the government would just be like, hey, we're going to pay off your loans for you. But we all know that that isn't how that works. Or at least give us a credit on, like a decent credit on all the interest. Yeah, I wouldn't even call the SBA. I would just email reconsideration tonight. You just need to get somebody. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. Just email them and see if you can get somebody. And try to keep the email short and sweet and to the point. Don't put, just say, I need to be reconsidered for the increase. That's it. You know, you shouldn't have any problems. If you put too many things in there, then it's like their automated system starts to send you to other places. Yeah, here it says a one-time $100 fee for filing a lien. Oh, so you've already paid for this lien. I doubt that they'd make you pay for it again. I can't believe how many businesses haven't even applied. That's why I jumped on tonight. I'm trying to remind people that the deadline is tomorrow. And then try to help anybody kind of get this process moving. It seems like they're trying to close out the end of the year, and it sounded like they were all going to be in the office tomorrow. So tonight, I mean, they work. I should look that up. I think I heard Skip say once or twice that they do. I know they respond on weekends. I doubt they work on holidays. Let me see. But I've had responses from the SBA as late as right before midnight, so they must work long hours. Being a Skip Plus member, does that help? Will they help you? I suppose they want to charge you. I don't know how that works. If they have, I know they have connections, or at least informants from the SBA sometimes, but seems like their workload is quite high. I know you can do this on yourself. I have confidence in you. I would just email, and I hope you hear something by the end of tomorrow even. That would be great. And then by the end of next week, you could maybe be funded. And then you can start to work hard on getting all of your tax papers done by the end of January. I'm glad you didn't just ignore the fact that they said that 500 was your max, because I wonder how many other people have just neglected to push harder. Some people have not got this money, and so many businesses have closed down. I see. So they mostly just help do templates and stuff. Yeah, I couldn't afford $89 a month. That's like my internet bill for me. And being a massage therapist during these times, I'm just too slow. Nobody wants to be touched during this COVID stuff. And that's right. And I also believe entrepreneurs are just slightly crazy because if you run a business, you have to accept some level of risk. But I also believe that, if stuff doesn't work out, that you just start over again. So it's kind of like you have to not be scared to lose everything, to risk everything, to make your dreams happen. And so I'm kind of maxed out where I can go with my businesses here. But I'm happy where I'm at. I'm getting by. So that's what's important. Yeah, I did see that he's always got some different grants and stuff. I'm in South Dakota, but I am gonna go to Florida in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be in the Fort Lauderdale area. So I've never been in that area, and I usually try to go to Florida at least once a year to get out of this cold. But I have a daughter who has autoimmune issues. She was born without hemoglobin A. And so her allergies and her eczema and stuff get really bad. And so we usually try to get to Florida and just get into nicer temperatures. And I'm not really sure what we're going to do in the Fort Lauderdale area yet because I've never been there. But I'm trying to decide if I want to drive down to the Keys or not. So I love Florida. If I could choose a place to live in Florida, just based off the places I've been now, I would probably pick the Fort Myers area. Or Cape Coral, kind of down from there to Naples, just because I like the Bay Area by the Cape Coral, just because I like to fish, and it's a little more subtle, so there's lots of swimming beaches, but I want to do some fishing on the Fort Lauderdale side this time. But yeah, I'm in South Dakota. Like, it is supposed to be negative temperatures tomorrow. Let me see what the temp is. It's 29 now. I just washed my car. And let's see, temperature, let me check the weather. We're supposed to be negatives this week. My husband and son went deer hunting. This is the last week for that. And that's what we survive on for food around here for the winter. Let's see. I believe we were going to be... Let me look at the 10-day forecast. It has been freezing, is what it's been. Okay. So they're saying that, 10-day. It's going to be windy and cold. So tonight it's going to be 16 degrees with 10-mile-an-hour winds, 76% humidity, which, by the way, you can't feel. So, because the wind is going to freeze you to death. So, tomorrow is going to be a nice 17 degrees with a -6 for tonight's low tomorrow night. So, I will probably turn my heat up in my house to 72 because my walls will be so cold that no matter how warm I try to keep the house, it's going to feel freezing. And then Saturday is going to be 4 degrees for high and -4 for a low, which this is why we call soda pop in the Midwest, because if you leave this outside and it gets cold, it pops and blows up in your car. So that's why we call it pop. I call it soda pop because I like to travel, and so I guess I'm just cultured in a different way. So I didn't get out of the country this year, and I usually always leave the country at least once, but I left last year. But this year I just didn't because I couldn't afford it, but I'm gonna go next year to Jamaica. So, but I try to go to Florida at least once a year. I'd love to buy just a small vacation place, but I just rent a house for a week and take my kids, and just, my kids are homeschooled, so I can leave whenever I want. Oh, looking at these temperatures, it's sad. It looks like by the time I do get to Florida, it'll be about 35 degrees here. So, yeah, have you gotten any of the grants from Skip? Because I wonder how saturated they are. Like, I'm aware of like grants.gov and all the listed grants there, and a lot of them are hard to attain. I've applied for a few. I applied for the Hello Alice grant, but I didn't get it. Oh, there was a grant that was available, but I couldn't apply for it because they wouldn't allow massage therapists. So they discriminated us. Does anybody else have any SBA questions in regards to the EIDL loan that has to be applied for by tomorrow, and also by the end of day tomorrow, and also the EIDL grants? Yeah, I could see that. Well, after you get your 1.5 million that you are entitled to, I'm sure, you might not need Skip's membership for a while. So until there's another program. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're sending another letter. You just need the right person to see it. That's all. Which part of Florida are you in? You don't have to give me the town, but we were thinking about transferring there. My husband works at a federal facility, and they have one, in Marianna, Florida. But we would look at doing that in a few years. I have four businesses, but 3 that actually make any money here, and so to try to relocate and start over is kind of scary, but I do like the idea of living somewhere that doesn't. I'm kind of scared of hurricanes. That's about it. I'm not scared of gators. I'm just scared of hurricanes. So, and I don't know why, because we have tornadoes and hail and stuff here, and blizzards and snowstorm and ice, but for some reason a hurricane scares me. I guess I could always leave. Champa Bay. I have to look that up because I have no idea where that's at. Oh, over by Tampa area. So yeah, I have been there not in that specific area. But I have been to Tampa, the Clearwater area. It was nice. I just didn't get to spend too much time there. So YouTubing started out as my kids. My 14-year-old started this YouTube channel, like, I think when he was 5. I think it was when he was 5. And he had made a animation of Five Nights at Freddy, and it went viral. And last year, I kept getting emails for 2 years from YouTube asking if we wanted to monetize our channel. And I kept ignoring it because, like, I just didn't think that we had the time to do YouTube. And, like, what content would we provide? So, because I have a job. And so, but I liked the idea of having a passive income. So, like, most videos that we put on, like, an example is we probably posted, I'd have to look, but we probably posted like 30 videos, at least 30 videos for December. And I think we only made like $50. But we don't have a lot of subscribers. So we only have like 7,200 subscribers. So you would have to get, obviously, a significant amount of subscribers, and then your video views are worth more money. That's how that works. But the videos that you post, if they get viewed 10 years from now, you still make money on them. So I have a YouTube Premiere account, so I don't actually see ads, but that's how YouTube collects money, is from marketing and putting it on the videos. And so I won't get paid for this video until I stop going live. So the only way I can get paid while I'm live, I think, is when people give you stickers, which I've never gotten one before. I don't know how that works. And then that goes into your account as like a bonus. But I don't mind YouTubing. So my kids now are I have 6 kids. I adopted 4, but I have 2 that are still under my roof. I have a 14 and a 9-year-old, and they started doing reaction videos, and I realized that was kind of a hassle because of copywriting. But they were still making some money, but there was more work in the backgrounds to contact artists and get the copyrights dropped. Oh, we got to meet a lot of artists. And then people in my local area started asking me for help with the EIDL. So I started making videos about the EIDL just to help those people get through the process, because it's hard to text and talk and call people. And so it was just easier to make a video, and I could just be like, just go to my channel, then, you can see how to work through this. And I'd always send like skips, links to them. Well, then, we started gaming live, and we have a Twitch account as well as YouTube account, and I haven't made any money at all on Twitch yet because we don't have enough followers. They call and not subscribers, but followers. And so I guess I like it, but I just don't really have content. I'm not super good at it yet. If I finish my studio and get a following, and maybe I've thought about doing more about business, like how to start a business, how to register your business with, the state, or, how do you even trademark, or how do you LLC, or, I know how to do all of that. How to do anything really with a business. I've pretty much done it. I've owned a lot of businesses over the last several years. And so I also have a real estate business. I'm not a real estate agent. I just basically rent a lot of commercial property. And like I said, I own a salon and then a massage therapeutic clinic. So I just kind of a vast area. And then I turned to my craft business that it was just kind of a hobby, so that it was legit with taxes, into a legit business. But I got my equipment and stuff written off for taxes, I guess. But yeah, YouTubing's okay. I think everybody could do a YouTube channel, and everybody has some content somebody would want to watch, I guess. My whole family's involved with our channel, and we don't have a specific type of content, but it's kind of a mix. But I'm starting to get it figured out. We just started monetizing, it was earlier this year, but we didn't actually start putting new content on until the summer. And then I thought to myself, it'd be nice to have a passive income. So if you build up your followers and actually get some followers and subscribers that I have people drop in all the time, the same people, and say hello. But, that's usually like during gaming and stuff, which I'm not a gamer. It was like 8 years before I picked up a controller, but I'm starting to get into it again. But I understand business. Definitely an entrepreneur. Started out as a sole proprietor, and now I have 3 LLCs. So I've thought about turning some of that into an incorporation, but mostly just don't want to go through the hassle of changing everything again. Yeah, Tampa Bay area, though. It's okay. I definitely like it. It's a little more quieter south of there. But it's cheap for us to fly from South Dakota to Tampa Bay. It's pretty cheap. But nobody wants to come here. It's too cold. It's hot in the summer, though. We've got over 100 degrees in the summer. We range from below 0 to well over 100. Most people don't even know where South Dakota is on the United States map. You think, oh, you're South Dakota? So you must be south, right? Yeah, south of North Dakota. But no, we're still far enough up that we're freezing up here. I made a mistake this summer when I went to Michigan. I thought because they were north of us that they'd be colder, and I was wrong. They actually do not get as hot as we do and do not get as cold as we do, but that's because they have the lake effect, which I didn't understand. But I don't think I'd want to live there. It's just not a super good area to live near Detroit. Yeah, I guess Tampa Bay area wouldn't be too far. I mean, it'd be a few hours from where we would transfer to if we moved up there. Down there, I guess. What kind of business do you have in Tampa? Business must be all right. At least Florida's open. At least Florida also is doesn't have state income tax, and we don't have state income tax in our state either, which is why I've been drawn to the Tampa, Florida area. There and south of there and above there. Mostly because I don't want to be stuck down in like Miami area and be a bottleneck and can't get out if there's a hurricane. So, like I said, I'm scared of hurricanes. Yeah, I am going to be in the Fort Myers area, or Fort Lauderdale area, excuse me. So close to Miami, though, in a few weeks. Last time I called my congressperson, I don't think I got anywhere. That cannot be possible that they maxed you out. Yeah, for the original loan, just not the increased formula. I'll give you all the energy you got. I'm nothing but a positive person. So I'm confident that if you send this email that you'll hear something back. Well, my husband is a mechanic, but he is a mechanic for the federal government. And he likes to rebuild muscle cars. So, I don't know. I guess I have a Camaro and a Nova in my garage now. The Camaro is mine. But, yeah, I'm assuming you're doing mostly the regular stuff. But I know a lot about cars. Because my husband. I have a automotive parts account at a local automotive shop, just in our business name, just so that we can get our parts for all of our vehicles, our fleet, I guess. I do believe that you are qualified. I mean, according to Skip's formula, I definitely believe it. You just probably got the wrong person. Sometimes it's easier just to tell somebody they're not qualified than actually to do the work. So hopefully you'll hear something tonight yet, if not tomorrow. And then just keep checking that portal, because they will go ahead and make a button appear for you to want to accept the increase. I suppose he never went to school, and he has a job. So it's kind of funny. He started out as a correctional officer. Actually, he actually worked in a factory, and then I said, "You can't work a factory job and make ends meet. You need a career." And so he got a job at Budweiser because it paid $400 more a month, and that lasted for like 6 months. And then he got a job at the local jail. And then he went from there to applying for a federal position as a correctional officer. And once he got into the correctional field and became a government law enforcement officer, he worked his way into facilities, which ended up being a mechanic shop. And he beat out 2 qualified technicians because they didn't do as well on their test exams, as well as they had him do like welding and some other stuff, and he had already had welding training from previous job, and so he just kind of worked his way up without having to go to school. I went to school for 8 years, and he didn't. I mean, we met in high school, but we both married other people and then ended up back together. So, but yeah, he's got a career as he runs the mechanics and fleet at one of the federal facilities here, and as well as I think like the recycle program and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, he had to learn how to work on some stuff he wasn't familiar with, like diesels and golf carts and some other smaller things like some of the tractors and just mowers and stuff that, he never, but he learned a lot from the other people that were there as well. But now he's looking at getting promoted and trying to move above that. And then we're possibly going to move to Florida at one of their federal facilities. But he'll probably be an office guy at that point. He's just going to keep moving up. But I will always have probably more garage than house. We were looking at homes, and he's like, well, as long as it's like an 80 by 60 foot garage. And I was like, yeah, so you could put a lift in it, right? Or a pit. So, but yeah, that's a really good business but cars are getting definitely more interesting with like switching to the electric and stuff. Ew. Yeah. He's not a fan of diesels. In fact, we bought a pickup this year. We bought a 2021. So we traded in a 16 GMC Denali, a Sierra Denali, pickup. They gave us like 41,000 for it, I think. We didn't have that many miles on it either. And we ended up buying a 2021 Ram pickup, 2500 HD. And we had the opportunity to buy it in diesel or buy it in, gas. And he chose gasoline because he hates working on diesels. And to be honest, I preferred the gasoline option. It does not get very good gas mileage, but man wants his truck. You gotta let him have his truck. And I had the opportunity. I bought a new car this year too, because I hadn't bought one in 10 years. And I have several cars, but my primary driver was a Caravan, and my 14-year-old's going to start driving that. And so I bought a Pacifica, and they wanted, me to buy a hybrid. And my husband was like, absolutely not. We're not going to replace that battery. And so I also have an all-wheel drive non-hybrid Pacifica now. But we both got new vehicles this year, and it's been a few years. So he always gets a new vehicle. I never do. But I have my Camaro, and in the summer I drive that. I think if I moved to Florida, it'd become my everyday driver. So, but I do love my minivans. I put kayaks on them, and we go to we do a lot of road trips. I drove to Michigan this year, and I drove to Yellowstone. Drove to Omaha several times because I have a daughter, with health problems. So we that's several hours from here, and she's got medical issues that we have to see specialists at Children's Hospital there. So, yeah, I've already put in almost 9,000 miles on it, but I prefer to fly anywhere. Yeah, I can't imagine dealing with a diesel. So, well, that's why we like to mess around with the older, sports cars. But I can't imagine, doing repair. Like, you have to have thousands of dollars or at least access. You got to put that on your accounts. You got to pick up car. I mean, people have to pay their bills. I couldn't imagine dealing with all of that. You guys are all a bunch of grease monkeys. That's what you are. So, that is if you get your hands dirty. So, I had a mechanic come in for a massage today, and he's like, my hands are just, he goes, my hands are just black, and it doesn't come off. And I was like, oh, you can't lie to me, because my husband is a mechanic. I'm like, you can get that off. I said, that's not a good enough excuse for me. So, like, just because it's embedded into your pores and your fingers and your finger bed, I said, doesn't mean that it doesn't come off. You just didn't clean it well enough. So, but yeah, I think I know the smell of mechanic's grease for sure. But I know how to rip an engine out, and we've towed so many cars. We have a couple car haulers, and yeah, that's what we used to do before we, got busy into our careers, is, wash dishes. Yeah, try to tell him that. I should tell him that next time he comes in for a massage. My husband's hands are clean. My hands always have to be clean. Nobody wants to get a massage from a therapist whose hands aren't clean. So, but, I don't know. We used to, before I got into, before I bought a bunch of commercial property to rent, we used to do side hustle, and that was buying cars and flipping them. And so, because he could fix them, we didn't do body work, though. We don't know how to do body work, which I wish somebody in the family would have went with that. Like I said, I adopted a bunch of kids that are adults now. I wish one of them went to school for that. But we would buy, we'd scour Craigslist and Facebook and the paper and just stop random places and we would try to buy cars that people didn't want. Mostly rollers, and we'd throw engines into them or whatever we had to do, get them running decent, and then roll them out and triple our money. And we did this all the time, and it just got to the point where I think we always had a car on the car trailers, and we were always signing titles and trying to get cars sold, and it was just our side hustle. And then, you know, we kind of wanted to get into it again for a while, but now, like, he's rebuilding a 73 Nova now, and he tore it down to nothing, and we got it powder coated, and he poured 15 to the underside, and we're rebuilding everything. We have to put all the wiring, the gauges, everything into it, and we're doing it all new. I mean, we have a lot of work to do, but it's been a fun project, and my Camaro's done. And sometimes we'll just do them, and then we'll sell them after we enjoy them for a little bit. But I kind of wonder, as much time and money as he's put into this Nova, if we aren't going to end up keeping this one. But you never know. He wants to get another truck, and an older, I don't know, square body. I don't know. Guy in his truck, I tell you. But yeah, that's a good job. I always said car repair and laundromats is kind of a good, you can always, you know, I guess even just oil changes. Dealing with people, though, is not always easy. You know, they want it done yesterday. And it's hard to find people that want to work. I mean, on the bright side, you live in a state where most people are retired, I would think. So, at least it kind of appears that way. So most of the people aren't going to do the work themselves anymore. They're just going to bring it to you, get it fixed. Expand your business to having some rental cars on the side. That way they can rent a car from you too. Dawn gets everything off, though. I mean, I have found Dawn dish soap in my shower before. He just will bathe with it to get the grease off. It's crazy. Yeah, it is really hard to find people to work. Around here, you know, if you had an automotive service or repair shop now with this cold, you would never be able to keep a shop warm. And I mean, you have cars getting snowed in. I mean, this place, I would never want to run something like that. We have a couple people that run successful auto repair shops here. I have no idea what they make or how successful they are, but they seem to be. People always go back to them. I'm lucky I have a mechanic under. We still, like, our stuff with warranty, I still send that stuff in. So you sent that email, right? Hopefully they will come back. They were coming back about every 2 hours yesterday. Somebody. Well, someone had a question on my other video. Are we just answering that? Good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope that you can get that squared away with the SBA, and I hope that they fund you quickly so that you can go into the new year here with a plan for your capital. I'm sure there's lots of things that you could square away right away. I suppose that there's probably some credits out there too for staff. I don't know what is available this year for taxing. I do most of my own taxes. I have clients that are accountants that have kind of assisted me over the years, but I don't have staff like employees. I keep everybody independent just so I don't have to deal with it. I feel like the SBA should have separated the grant process from the loan process, because so many people applied just for the grants, and I feel like it clogged up the queue for people that needed to get the loans. However, there were several people that would do both, and I see why they combined it, but the process moves a lot smoother than it did earlier this year when they were understaffed. I mean, I don't even think you can get a loan at the bank for that. I mean, the interest is so good. So I suppose for loans greater than 500,000 abundant, it shows here that the following additional documents will be solicited: a schedule of liabilities, which you may or may not have already filled out, but I would assume that's just like your bills. I'm going to click on it and see what it shows. I'm curious. Okay, that's pretty simple. So if it's unsecured or secured. So any other business, here it says notes, mortgages, or accounts payable. So you wouldn't include like, obviously like utilities and stuff, because this has to do with your notes, which is loans. So that's pretty simple. That's an easy form. Okay, what else did it say? Where did that page go? Oh dear. Okay, so I have to head back here maybe? Okay. So then here, SBA Form 413 for personal financial statement. And then a list of your real estate owned, which template or intake form. So I suppose it's just like a Word PDF file. Let me see what this one is. This form is to be used to access repayment ability and credit worthiness of applicants for it'll be for disaster loans. They must use the same form for their other loan processes too. So you'll have to do this too if you haven't already, but I would assume not, because it said over 500,000. Oh, I'm guessing that was supposed to be a link that person added. It's in a different language. Well, okay, SBA uses... That's just my dad trying to call me. He doesn't understand how this whole YouTube stuff works. So So check all that apply and complete the form in its entirety and attach any separate sheet if necessary. Also, certifications and sign and spousal signature is required, if required. I suppose it depends on if they're on your business or not. Complete this form for each proprietor, LLC, for each owner, 20% or more. So I suppose you would complicated. Well, this would not apply to those because this would be SBA, disaster loan. So here, this would be for this section, disaster business loan application, excluding sole proprietors. So if your business is owned by more than one person, it almost looks like each one would fill this out because it says each applicant, each general partner. Unless you're married, I think that counts as one. Return completed form 2. Well, that's easy. You just email it. And of course, attach your application number to your subject line. This doesn't apply here. I didn't even realize how many loans are available for women. Maybe if I moved to Florida, I could start my own business there with some kind of contracting loan through SBA. Oh, let's see, business development. So I think it would just apply to this check mark here, and then you would return it to that email, and then you would fill out this basic information. So, your business type. Oh, they want to know everything about your money. Of course they do, right? So they want to know how much cash you have in the bank. Your savings accounts. You have to add it all up. You don't have to separate it. They want to know what your cash asset value is. So what is your cash value, basically? How much life insurance, your cash value only. They want to make sure that you're capable of they want to get your money back. That's pretty easy for them to fill out, really. It's just tedious because you have to look everything up. But you could probably, if you haven't done this form before, Abundant, I would recommend printing it out and getting it ready. So that way, as soon as you do get the okay, then you can go ahead and submit it. I can go back here and show you. It's all on the SBA.gov page. It was right here. Let me go back here. I'm on that main page, the SBA.gov, and then I clicked the funding, and then I went to the EIDL, and it was right at the bottom here. Right here. It said for loans greater than $500,000, you have to fill out these. So you can get that stuff ready now, because we know that you qualified. Let me find that. So that one, that's pretty easy. It's just a list of your bank notes. And then this one is a little more complicated, which I would want to work on now. And it looks like when you download it, it gives you the opportunity to just plug those numbers in and save them. And then you could probably DocuSign it or text sign it, or yeah, like see a draw, sign it, see a draw. So contingent liabilities. Yeah, they pretty much just want to know everything about you. Alimony or child support. Other income, like if you have rental income or other income that you haven't included on the top. I guess you would put that in there. It's funny how they make you do a separate list of notes when they put it right here. So I suppose you would put the SBA on there because you already have the one loan. You already filed this. You filled this one out already. Well, then they should already know. Maybe they made you do it too because you were already at 500. This looks complicated. But I guess. So then you had to file a lien too, right? Here. Where was that? Right here. For loans greater than 500,000. I'm glad that you got all that done. There's no reason they should be holding your money then. They just need to go ahead and approve it all. So, and I suppose if they want additional verification, it would probably just have to do with like business activities maybe for this year since you haven't filed for taxes for 2021 yet. They really picked nice low credit scores though. That was good. Yeah, you were ready. You were ready to get that money. How long did it take you to get funded when you got approved for the 500,000? Did it take how much from the time that they said that you would process the loan to the time that it hit your bank account? Was it like a week or 2 weeks? Yeah, I believe it'll work out too. You'll have to let me know. So, if you subscribe to my channel, it'll tell you, I think, when I jump on. You can always just let me know. I'll remember your name. I always remember everybody I talk to. That's good. I suppose when you become a loan borrower here, you would start an account so that you can pay your loan, maybe? Huh. That's 3 weeks, yeah. Well, let's pray in 3 weeks that you have 1.5 million that you deserve now. You did subscribe? You must have subscribed already. I don't see it pop up on here. Maybe that's how you popped up in the pat, or how you knew I was live. I have this little bar that you can't see on the bottom of my screen that shows me my subscribers, and because I write them down because when we get to 10,000 we're going to do a drawing and give away a bunch of stuff. Well, I probably can't help you with much more other than give you some positive vibes and, hope that in a few weeks you have money in your account to keep your business going strong. I'm glad the holidays are almost over here. So I'm kind of start the year out. January, I always try to get all my tax stuff done, and then I feel like my year really starts in February, and then I work really hard to try to beat my year before stats. But being a massage therapist now, it's been pretty slow. I had 3 cancellations today because 1 had influenza A and 2 had COVID. And then I had 1 massage today. And so I make $75 to $85 an hour. But I only worked 1 hour of actual pay, so that's all I made today. But I got paperwork and stuff done. That's just how it is some days. You make money some days, you don't make money some days. It's just the way it is. So I'm just glad I didn't get sick. Yeah, thanks for keeping me company. Nobody else jumped on yet just some spammers, it looks like. So well, I'm just going to review the fact that tomorrow is the deadline for people to apply. So anybody else that knows anybody that has a business, make sure you apply. You have to apply for the grants and the loan by the end of tomorrow day. You do not have to be approved. They just need to be in processing. So anybody that has not applied needs to do so now. You just go to the SBA.gov, click funding programs here at the top, click the COVID relief options, click EIDL, slide on down, click the big old red button that says start the application process, and that will walk you through. You will do the application, ask for some basic disclosure information, make sure that you qualify for the program, get some basic information from your business, get your basic information from your business owners, upload any additional information that they request, and then get your summary before you apply and get your application number, which is your most important number. So you'll write that down. And you're welcome, Abundant. You have a great evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. And that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to jump on and remind you all to tell everybody you know to get this application in, because they stated that if you do not have it in, it says right here, the EIDL applications will be accepted until the end of tomorrow, and that they will continue to process all of those in the considerations, but they will be unable to accept any new applications after that deadline. So that's it. They won't reopen it. So those businesses that never had a chance to hear about it will not get a chance to apply. And so make sure you tell all of your friends that are also entrepreneurs about it. Try to save some businesses. And other than that, I just wanted to wish you guys a happy new year. Let's try to make it through another year. We could rewatch this video if you're just joining now to see what we covered. And I'm going to probably jump on and do some gaming. Guys, have a good night.